Welcome to our Hello Insider for the Strictly Come Dancing semi-finals. Sunday night's show saw the celebrities perform 2 dances in the hope of bagging their place in the grand finale next week. Hamza and Yavita brought the house down with their Charleston. Helen and Gorka's Argentine tango wowed the crowds, and Molly and Carlos set fire to the ballroom with their epic Paso Doble. But who will land a place in the finale? So, semi-finals yesterday. What did you guys think? I noticed that there were no perfect scores, which I thought was quite interesting for a semi-final. Do you think the judges were harsh, or do you think that was fair?
I'm going to say there should have been one perfect score, and that was Molly.
She should definitely be up on the leaderboard for me.
Yeah.
She was amazing, wasn't she?
I
Both
thought
of
it
them
was,
dances. So
I would say she was the only one that deserved a perfect score. I did notice, obviously it's the first time they've had to do 2 dances. And when you get to do 2 dances, you get half the time to do each dance, basically. And I could really see that some people struggled with that more than others. In particular, I felt Will maybe found it a little bit difficult. I thought that his paso was going to be exceptional, and I was a bit disappointed with his paso, because paso isn't the most difficult dance, especially for men, because it's very stampy and aggressive, and you can show your strength, and he's quite a powerful guy, and I thought he was going to be really good at the paso.
Yeah.
But I was just left a bit underwhelmed, really.
Yeah. Do you think he managed to redeem himself with the couple's choice? Because they were so different, they're almost incomparable, really, aren't they? Do you think he managed to... He looked far more confident in his couple's choice, didn't he?
Again, I'm going to say no. I know... I haven't woke up on the wrong side of the bed or anything. But I didn't enjoy it. I felt like when I was watching it, I thought, oh, that's what I'd look like if I did street dance, because I know I wouldn't be good at street dance, and I felt it was a bit dad dancey. And the fact he got 2 10s for it, I found baffling. I was like, how has that got 2 10s? So for me personally, I didn't really enjoy either of his performances.
And I think, we've got to say that he was probably rightly so on the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because we picked him as the winner very early on.
Yeah, I did as well.
Yeah,
I don't like being wrong.
Feelings about Will, because I loved him so much, and I thought, that's it. He is the one to watch. And then it's just,
I still go back to Diane and Tyler. I feel that they should still be in the competition. Yeah, I'm still gutted about them being out. I still feel he should be in the competition.
All right, get over yourself.
He's brilliant, wasn't he?
He was really, really good. He was really good. And I think because Will has had such an up and down journey with his dances, like I know we've said before, like he came out on the first or second week and was amazing, and then he's been like really up and down. I really feel like he needed this week to be great, whereas other people have been more consistent. Like I think Molly has been more consistent, despite the fact that she's been in the bottom 2.
I agree.
So do you think that this could be the week where she finally avoids the dance off and actually gets through, as I think she deserves?
You know what? She deserves it so much. She's a young... I put it on my Twitter last night. She's a young girl. How old is she? 19 years old or something
young,
like that?
Yes.
And week after week, she ends up in the bottom 2. Now, whoever you are, whatever age you are, that's not a nice feeling. And it's hard to accept once, but to keep doing it and to keep coming back and producing
and fighting,
great dances.
Essentially,
yeah. And it's a little bit, that is what life's about, You keep getting knocked down, but you've got to keep picking yourself up. And some people wouldn't be able to do what she's done, I feel, to come back and to still be loving it and enjoying it. And if she ends up in the bottom 2 this week, and I'm sure you already know who's in the bottom 2.
I don't actually know. I have the ability to know, but I don't want to know.
I'd be gutted for her, because I feel she should have been top of the leaderboard, which she wasn't, and that would have made a big difference to when the public vote and your combined scores are put together. It's much harder for... If she'd been top of the leaderboard, no way would she have been in the bottom 2.
Yes, that's right.
And she did deserve to be top of the leaderboard. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, let's talk about Hamza then, because he hasn't got a perfect score, but he, I think, is, one of the favourites, I think. What did you think of his dances on Sunday, sorry?
But the last few weeks, I feel he's slipped a little bit as well, because he created some performances that I thought were absolutely exceptional. Yeah, I mean, when they did the waltz. It's the first time that I've seen him maybe a little bit nervous. Maybe it was due to nerves. And when you're nervous in slow dances, it's very easy to go ahead of the music. It's much more difficult with faster dances. If you're nervous, that nervous energy gets lost in the frenetic kind of movement. But when you've got to really be slow and hold things, it's really hard when you're nervous. So yeah, I felt sorry for him with the fact knowing he couldn't control his nerves, but everyone gets nervous. All of them would have been nervous. But I just felt that they weren't quite on it last night. The first dance was exceptional. Some of the lifts that they do and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched the lifts and go, oh my God, I've never seen that one before. It was brilliant.
Yes.
But no, I still think he's probably favourite to win. Helen, for me, should win. I think that she's been the most consistent. Having said that, again, last night, her first ballroom dance was a little bit stiff in the neck, and it was a little bit rigid in the spine, and that's what the judges were talking about, and I felt the same. Although it was still beautiful,
the posture wasn't quite there.
She doesn't, again, they don't have this softness in the spine. They hit their position and then they just hold it, and they kind of end up looking a little bit rigid like that.
And Helen had such a good week last week with her cabaret. Do you think that would have made her more nervous this week? Because I feel like that was the week where it was a bit of a turning point and people were like, oh, okay, she might actually win this now.
It's hard to always get better and better because there's going to be certain dances or routines that don't suit you as much as the next one. And sometimes you create something magical that you try and reproduce and you just can't find it, you know? It was just one of those magical moments. And I think Helen's was her jive. Will's was clearly his first dance, which was the salsa or cha-cha,
Salsa?
Hamza has had a couple as well, you know. It's hard to reproduce those magical moments when each week you're changing dance, and that dance might not suit you. Like the waltz did not suit Hamza.
I think Fleur's Charleston, the Italian theme one, was great.
Yes, it was good.
I thought that was really good. I actually preferred that to her passo, but I think she got better scores in the passo. I can't remember.
I agree with you.
What did you think?
I think so as well.
Yeah, I felt that I like seeing the fun side of her. For me, her best dance still was when she did the samba. That was like a eureka moment where she had this softness in her spine.
Well, what are your predictions for the bottom two? What do you think is going to happen tonight?
My predictions for the bottom two. On dancing, it should be Fleur against Will and Will to be eliminated. On paper, that's what it should be on dancing. If it was a proper dance competition, just on the judges making the decision, that's what it would be. But because we have public vote, and that is what makes the show amazing, in my opinion, because you've got to vote for who you want.
Yeah.
Molly, possibly. I hope not. I hope she's
It's
done
so
enough.
hard because we've been so shocked about the bottom twos before. We've been like, why is that happening? So you just never know, do you?
Yeah, I think she did enough yesterday to kind of say to the public, I'm fighting for my place. She had the best dance of the night. So if she's had the best dance of the night and ends up in the bottom two, there's nothing more that poor girl can do. She's brushed herself off so many times.
Yeah.
She's come out and gone, look, I am trying, I am here, I am part of this competition.
Yeah.
This is the best I've got, and it was the best last night. And if she ends up in the bottom two, I think it's a bit of a travesty.
It's definitely not going to be Hamza. We know that.
Yeah.
And I think Helen's getting quite a lot of votes. The
you
women
don't know.
are there behind her, and I think she wouldn't be there.
Yeah. It's got to be Fleur and Will.
Yeah.
It has to be. And I think it's Will's time. He had his eureka moment week one.
And he had so many
each week
chances to get himself going.
And he's not kind of found that moment again where it was as good as week one. So I just think that maybe it's his time to go.
Yeah, fair enough. And so big night next week, the final. Who's going to lift the trophy? I think it's going to be Hamza. Who do you think it's going to be?
I agree with you. I still think it's going to be because of the likability. And there's nothing wrong with that. And he has been brilliant. I do think Helen's maybe been a little bit more consistent than him throughout the show. But But I think because of the vote, and mainly people vote for men when the men are good, I think he'll lift the trophy.
I agree.
Thanks so much for watching our Hello Insider. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in next week where we'll be discussing the grand finale.